Hello everyone. So I wanted to make a video discussing why I haven't posted it in the last week. Um, but with everything going on in the world, it just didn't feel right to just slap content on here and just act like nothing's happening, because there are voices that need to be heard and there's issues that need to be discussed and talked about, and I just didn't feel right posting like if nothing was happening. So I took a step back. I took a break. I took time to educate myself and learn and listen to those who are fighting for their voices to be heard and to be treated as equals. Um, I myself am not black. Um, however, I am not white. I am Latino, and I have experienced racism firsthand, prejudice firsthand by the police. And I do not pretend to understand what it's like to be a black person in America, and I never will. Um, but I understand what it's like to face racism, to be judged by the color of your skin and the way you look, and not by the content of your character, as you should be. Um, so I stand with those fighting for their voice. Black lives do matter, and yes, all lives matter, but all lives will not matter until Black lives matter, and that's what they're fighting for right now, and what I stand with, and I stand beside them and with them. On the screen, I put up a website you can see here on the screen where you can go to, where you can donate to help support the cause, to help support those affected by police brutality and those fighting for their voices to be heard and for them to be treated as equals. The fact that in 2020, when we're possibly less than a decade from sending people to Mars, we're still fighting for people to be treated as equal and not be judged by the color of their skin is ridiculous to me. I grew up in an environment where you never judge anybody by the way they look. You judge them by the way they acted, by the way they held themselves, by the manner in which they held themselves. So I stand with those who are fighting to not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Because I've been on the other end of being judged because of the color of my skin. People assume that I've had people assume that I don't speak English because I look Latino. I have people assume that I'm illegal or Mexican. I've been pulled over because of the way I look, because I'm driving through a nice neighborhood in a not great, like really nice car, and they assume that because I'm a Latino driving around a neighborhood like that something's fishy, so I get pulled over. I get my license plate run for no reason. I've been on that end of things, not to the extent that black people have, and I never probably ever will be. But I've seen that, and being someone who's experienced this firsthand, I understand what the issues are a little better, I would say, than some people who haven't. Um, which is another reason why I fully stand with Black Lives Matter, because they do. Black lives do matter, and enough is enough. It comes to a point where it needs to end. The racism, the hatred, it needs to end. This is something that's been going on for more than 300 years, and it needs to end. Obviously, in America, it's not been going on for more than 300 years. That's not what I meant. But in general, it's been going on for more than 300 years, and it needs to end. Um, this needs to be a world that's not, people are not judged just because of the way they look, because of the content of melanin in their skin. Because that judging someone like that is ridiculous. And the fact that it's 2020 and we still have this issue, almost 20 years after what happened with Rodney King back in 1992, after Martin Luther King marched for equality, and this is still happening 50 years, just more than 50 years after that, is ridiculous. And it needs to end, and that's what everybody's taking a stand for. That's what everyone's protesting about, or a lot of people are protesting about. And I stand with those. I do not stand with those who riot and loot, especially those who are trying to take advantage of the situation to loot. I do stand with peaceful protesters, and I understand those who do riot not to loot, but just out of frustration over years of oppression and years of racism and being judged by the color of their skin. I understand that that's why that happens. But I am of the mindset that peaceful protest is the way forward. Because when you riot and you incite violence, You're giving those who want to judge you and who want to dismiss your voice a way out. You're giving them a, a way to mute your message. At least that's the way I see it. So I believe that peaceful protest is the best way to go about it. Of course, I understand that peaceful protests has happened in the past. You look at Colin Kaepernick taking a knee, and they weren't really happy with that either. But the people who you are protesting against are never going to be happy, no matter what you do when you protest against them, because you're protesting against them. And something that they believe, something that they stand with, and you're protesting against it because you believe it's wrong, and which in this case it is wrong. And those people who say that Colin Kaepernick's taking a knee was wrong because it was disrespecting the flag, he was literally told to take a knee. When he first started that protest, he started it by sitting during the anthem, and he went and spoke to certain people and to a few people about it because he was told it was disrespectful to sit during the flag. So he wanted to find a more respectful way to protest. And he went to a Marine, Nate Boyer, who played in the NFL, who was a former Marine, who told him to take a knee during the national anthem because that's not disrespectful. That's actually a sign of respect when you take a knee. So to do that, and that's what he did from that point forward. So to say that it is against the veterans or against the flag when it came from a veteran, the idea to do it came from a veteran, is missing the point. And trying to make it about the flag or make it about the anthem is missing the point. What he was protesting those years ago that to this point has cost him his career is exactly what has come to a boiling point right now in America and around the world, and that is that police brutality, especially against minorities and against black people specifically, is getting to a point where it's all too common and it happens all the time, and the system is broken and needs to be fixed. And so I stand with those who peacefully protest. I stand with those who protest in general, because I understand those who are protesting and riot not to loot and not to steal, but to protest, are doing it out of frustration, and they're doing it out of the years of not being heard, of not being treated as human. So I stand with Black Lives Matter. I stand with those fighting for their voice, and I always will stand for peace and equality, because I believe that everyone should be treated equally. I live by do unto others as you want done unto you, and I believe that fully. And so I treat those around me the way I would want to be treated, and I treat them with love, and I treat them with respect, and I treat them as equals because that's what they are. I don't see myself above anybody, and I don't see anybody above me. We're all on this planet as a human race together, and if we really want a great future, a bright future, a long future on this planet, we have to work together to do that. And we have to live in peace and not live where we're judging each other off the color of our skin and the melanin content in it. Because at the end of the day, doing that just brings more divisiveness and makes it harder for everyone to coexist for no reason. Because the color of someone's skin does not judge their character. It does not make them a better or not or bad person. It's just melanin. We're not different colors. We're all a shade of the same color, and we're all one race, and we're all in this together. And when people start seeing that and opening up and not judging people by their race or their gender or their sexual orientation or their religion or anything other than their character, then the world can truly be a better place. But until then, I stand with those who fight for their voice, and I will help them fight as well, because they deserve to be treated equally, just like everyone else on earth deserves to be treated equally. So the website I have on the screen is to help. If you want to donate and help the cause, go to that website, theshow.com. There will be information on where and how you can donate to help the cause, to help those affected by police brutality, and help those trying to have their voices heard and trying to fight for their rights to be treated equally. So please, if you can help, do so. If you see any creators doing live streams or trying to raise money towards this cause and you want to help, please do, because right now we need to come together for change to happen. Even if you're not black, everyone needs to come together to help those and lift them up and have their voices heard and have them be treated the way they should be treated, as what they are, and that is human beings. So if you can help, please do. As for content on the channel, it will be coming back. I will start posting again, but I felt like I had to post this video first. As just an explanation as to why I was gone, and I wasn't gonna stay silent. I just didn't know how or what to say, what I wanted to say, and I wanted to kind of take time to educate myself before I said anything. But silence is not the answer. Um, right now, everybody needs to speak up and come together to end the systemic racism and police brutality going on in America, and really racism across the entire world. So yeah, the content will be coming back. I will start posting again regularly. Um, and if you have a problem with me standing up for Black Lives Matter, I don't care, because I stand up for what's right. I stand for what I believe in, and what I believe in is love, peace, and unity, and treating everyone equally. And if you have a problem with that and you don't want to watch my video, that's fine. Move on. I'm sorry that that's the case. Because like I said, I don't judge people at all. Everyone is welcome, and my one rule is just to be kind to one another always, because that makes the world a better place. Just kindness. Um, so if you have a problem with that, I don't know what to tell you. But I guess this isn't the place for you if that's the way you believe. If you believe in divisiveness and racism and inequality, then this is not the place for you, because that's what I believe in. And I don't talk politics on the channel. I never ever have. And I won't very often, but this is a situation where I just couldn't stay quiet, and I had to say something, because it wasn't a time to give people an escape. This wasn't something to be ignored. It was something that needs to be amplified. It's something that needs to be focused on, and something that needs to be heard, so that change can truly happen. So if you can help, like I said, please do. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it if you're still here and you've listened to me talk for the last 12 minutes. Probably ramble a little bit because I'm not the greatest at speaking. I appreciate you that you're still here. If you can donate and help, please do. And just once again, thank you so much for just listening. I know I've been rambling a little bit, but thank you for listening and thank you for watching.